We have the new topic called vectors. It is vector in mathematics, not in physics. But there seems to be the same thing when you go into detail. Somehow different, there is a point where you find they are different. But the explanation from the first point of view, you find are the same. Vectors. Vector and scalar quantity. A vector is a quantity with both magnitude and direction. Magnitude is all about the size and also the direction. Means vector has got the size, that is the number exactly, but also the direction. The direction. Example of the vectors, we have displacement, we have acceleration, we have momentum, we have force. Displacement can show a direction at the same time you have the magnitudes. So the number of the displacement can be written, but also the direction of the displacement can be specified. That is why by the definition, it is specific distance. Means the distance in the specified direction, that is displacement. So that shows the direction and also at the same time the magnitude is there. Acceleration also can be written in terms of number and in terms of direction. That is why sometimes we have negative acceleration, that is called deceleration. But also momentum and force can be written in terms of direction and magnitude. So those quantities that have got both magnitude and directions are called vectors. A scalar, that is scalar quantity. This is the quantity with the magnitude only. Here we only see the number, no direction, but only the number or the magnitude is shown, but no direction. There is something very important to understand. Example, time cannot have direction, cannot have direction. Mass have no direction. Distance has no direction. Speed, temperature, and area. These are the quantities with the only magnitude, but no direction. So this is all about the difference between vectors and scalar quantities. Then, the topic as we have said is all about vectors. So here, we are not interested with scalar. Why is it so? We are just discussing with things with the quantity, with things with the direction and magnitude. So we want to know the direction and magnitude. And that is why we have learned on how we can represent the vectors. Then, representation and notation of vectors. A vector quantity is represented by directed lines, which is called arrow. Arrows. Lines. It is an arrow. An arrow must have this sign. This is an arrow. In the absence of this sign, is no longer an arrow. So this arrow is a vector. A vector from point A to B. So this is a vector from point A to B. The length of the line represents the magnitude. If now you take a ruler, you measure from here up to here, maybe you get 30 centimeters. That is magnitude. And also, an arrow represents the direction. The arrow shows me it is in direction. Manake urefu wa hii tunaita magnitude. Na hii arrow ina point direction of the vector. So very important. This vector can be written as this one. This is how we can write. That is notation. This is how we can write. Or this one. The magnitude can be written by this absolute. It is written by absolute bracket. So this shows the magnitude. And this shows the magnitude. Notation of the vector is this one. This is notation. But magnitude of the vector can be written in this form. So in short, this is how we can represent the vector by using an arrow. The direction is represented by an arrow, but the length of the line represents the magnitude of the vector. And that it can be written mathematically like this one. So this is the mathematical representation of the magnitude of the vector, and also this one. But this is the notation represented. It is a notation of vector, can be represented in this way. So this is very important to understand. So by doing so, we have explained what is a vector by definition, and what is the difference between vector and the scalar. And also we have explained on how we can represent mathematically what we call it a vector. Mathematically, the length of a line represents the vector, but also an arrow represents the direction of what we call it a vector. So here we got the direction and magnitude, and that is why from definition we have said a vector is a quantity with both magnitude and direction. So magnitude and direction can be represented in the same way, in the same diagram, to show this is a magnitude of the vector and this is the direction of the vector. As I said from here, the length of the line represents the magnitude of the vector, and the arrow shows its direction. This is very important for you to understand it. Then after this introduction of the vector, we have a lot of things to discuss about vectors. And now keep on subscribing, keep on watching our video, so as we may give you the detail about what we call it vector. Thank you for watching. Next time, you're welcome.